It was all good according to God's word. Created everything perfectly, especially Adam and Eve, who were created in the very image of God. And God then placed the first parents into a Garden of Eden. The word Eden means perfection, where all of their needs would be met, and they could live in an absolutely harmonious relationship with God and with each other. God's primary requirement of Adam and Eve was that they live in obedience to his directives. They obviously were created with the ability to think and the ability to make godly and moral choices. And God said you could eat of the fruit of any of the trees in the garden except one, the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Well, Adam and Eve most likely hadn't been in the garden for very long when Satan came into the garden in the form of a serpent and tempted Eve. At the heart of the devil's deception was the questioning of the reliability of God's word. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1 records his very first words to Eve. He simply said, "Did God really say?" Eve, are you sure that God's word can be trusted? Well, Satan tempts us the exact same way to wonder about the reliabilities of God's promises. Can I really believe what God has told me? Have you ever struggled with it? Many people go through times of difficulties in their lives. When hardships come, when pain enter their lives, there's trauma, there's tragedy that come in. And the human tendency is to wonder, God, where are you? God, where's your promises? I thought you were going to watch out for me. I thought you were a good God. I thought I could depend on you. And this happens to me. God, why? God, where are you? God, are you trustworthy? Well, I think we've all been through it. We've all asked those questions. Eve sure did. And throughout this study, we're going to see the promise of the Messiah weaved through the rest of Scriptures. And God says over and over again, I'll keep my promises. I'll give you my word. You can depend on me.